Hello, I'm Adriana, and today I have a channeled collective message for you. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull a couple different cards from a couple different decks to see what our kind of integrated theme is. We've got Elder of Earth and Five of Fire. So this is a time when we're being challenged to stay as grounded and generous and benevolent as we can. We are being asked to give in different ways than what we've been kind of accustomed to giving in the past, ways of giving in the past, ways of giving of ourselves, ways of putting our energy out into the world. All of that is changing. So there's a couple things. We are being challenged to give, but we also need to know that we are being deeply supported right now. And that the more we can overcome these lessons of giving of ourselves in different ways, the more kind of luck and benefit and support we're going to receive. This card is usually an omen of something good coming in, something that you've wanted. So it's like this is waiting. We have to get through this, to run through this gauntlet first. Okay, now let's see what's going on in the Druid. Seven of Cups. So again, we're needing to stay focused. That's what our Five of Fire is asking us to do. And then with the Seven of Cups, there is the tendency to want to let your mind wander, to want to let yourself get distracted. And what this time is about is even stronger than ever, this separation of illusion and delusion from reality. It's tricky, speaking astrologically, when you look at the moon and when you look at Neptune, both of those, I'll call them planets, even though the moon is not technically a planet, both of those planetary bodies deal with the themes of illusion and truth, intuition and deception. On the light side, we have deep emotional insight and deep spiritual truth. On the dark side, we have illusion, escapism, delusion, over emotionality. And right now, we're being asked to see through all of it. This is really a time of, I'm seeing kind of a black and white separation where we're being told, you've got to sort out reality from illusion. You've got to sort out what is true versus what is made up. So we've got a lot of different stuff going on here, but that's the big challenge right now. What is the truth and what isn't? Where are you getting distracted from what you think you should be doing and what you actually should be doing? Okay, and then I'm going to go deeper into this in the extended reading, but for now let's just leave that. All right, actually I'm being told to do 3 oracle cards. Heighten your vitality, you are worth it, Leo coming up, and be in service. There's our Virgo, and there is also our Elder of Earth. Very similar energies here. Even though they're completely different decks, I kind of feel like these cards even visually look, maybe it's this stuff. There's something about this that it's like, yeah, that's like the same card. Okay, but let's look at the other ones. Heighten your vitality and you are worth it. Heighten your vitality is make sure you've got enough energy for everything you want to do. So on the physical level, we're talking make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you're making the right healthy choices to keep yourself strong. But also understand that you're doing this for a bigger reason. You're doing this to be available. This goes really along very well with this be in service. You're doing this to be available for those who need your help, and you can't help other people unless your own vitality is very strong. So this time is about definitely nourishing yourself. I've gotten that message basically 3 times. Deeply nourishing yourself and sorting out the fact from the fiction. Now we've got the You Are Worth It card. And that's about not giving up on your dreams, but also believing, literally believing that you are worth it. So, sometimes I know in my experience, when I'm feeling a little down physically, like a little bit sick or just a little bit drained, then that's when kind of emotionally doubts or low self-esteem, that kind of stuff can creep in. And so because we drew these cards together, I'm wondering if that's a little bit of what might be going on with you. Because your energy's low, you're not believing in yourself, you're not believing in your dreams. And this is just reminding you that, you know, you do deserve your dreams. Everything good that you want, you deserve. But coming up with the Seven of Cups is interesting because, again, the fact from fiction. Sometimes when we've held a dream or a desire for so long, and then if you've been doing evolutionary growth or self-improvement, working to make yourself better, you may hold on to dreams that are from the old self. And the reason why those dreams haven't come true is not because you didn't deserve them or because you weren't doing things right. It was more that it's like your old self or your higher self, too many selves here. Your higher self knew that the dream and desire was born of the you at that time, but it could see that you were going to get to a different point in the future. So it didn't want to realize that dream for you because it could see that you weren't going to be in that dream very long, you know, relatively speaking, in the context of your entire life or a certain long stretch of time. So it was like, well, we're not gonna follow through on that because there's a different dream that the new self, the evolved self, which is actually closer in alignment to the higher self, there's going to be a new desire and a new dream that we're going to want. So we're going to save our energy for that. So what it kind of feels like is that we may have been expending our energy trying to make this old dream happen. There's our Seven of Cups, trying to make this old dream happen. And in the course of doing that, we've worn ourselves out because it just wasn't happening. And maybe that's this as well from the beginning. We're putting forth all this energy, Five of Fire, and the desire, the dream, this Elder of Earth is just out of reach. And so, yeah, we've been worn out because we're like, why won't this come true? Why do you keep trying different things, maybe going to different readers or whatever you're doing, trying to figure out what did I do? But the truth of it was that it wasn't supposed to come true then because it's really not a true desire for your new evolved self. So this time is very much about cutting through the illusions of the past and taking that dream and saying, does that resonate with who I am now? Look also at what made you form those desires and what made you form those dreams in the first place. Because usually desires and dreams are formed out of a reaction to what wasn't there. So let's say I've been in a lot of, just as an example, if you've been in a lot of tough relationships where you're fighting each other or you never feel recognized, the desire to feel recognized or loved or the desire for something easier is coming out of that place of things not working. Or let's say, I don't know, a silly example, you go to a restaurant and it doesn't have, you get really sick from something you eat. So you think, okay, I'd like to have maybe healthier food next time. So we're constantly creating desires out of reactions, and that's okay. That's the way we're put together. But I suspect that for a lot of us, that desire, that elusive desire that's just beyond reach, was perhaps created out of a reaction to a lack. And now you need to ask yourself, am I still lacking it? That lack that created my desire, am I still lacking that? So back to the restaurant example, maybe I started shopping at a different grocery store and I've got healthy food around me all the time. So do I really need to desire restaurants to feed me healthy food? Well, maybe not, because I've got that healthy food with me now. It's a very silly example. And I know that if you really take this in and think about it, you're going to come up with something really eye-opening, because it is likely that you're not lacking what you thought you were lacking. And that is a really big, big message. You're no longer lacking what you thought. So I do want to continue with this message because I feel like there's more, especially in this card for us. And we've barely talked, we barely talked about this one. So I do want to go deeper into those cards in the extended. So if you'd like to follow me over there, the link is in the description below. It's the first link that you can click on. And thank you so much for joining me for this reading. Please comment or subscribe, like if you haven't done that so far. It helps me to gauge what's good stuff to put out for you. So all thoughts are welcome, and I will look forward to seeing you soon.